Okay, next tutorial. This tutorial is a little bit random, just to say the least. It's meant to be a zombie Ronald McDonald. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfectly normal thing to do, isn't it? Yeah? Just say yes, just agree with me, it's fine. It's actually based off a request I got a very long time ago by Michael Janusek. I think I'm pronouncing that right, I'll pop your name there. They requested I do a Ronald McDonald, and I thought, that's not fun enough. I don't think it's creepy enough for my channel, so I thought I would make it a little bit more, yeah. So, if you'd like to see how to recreate this madness, stay tuned. So the first thing I'm going to do is block out my eyebrows, because I intend to apply a lot of liquid latex to my brows to build up a really demonic brow with liquid latex and tissue. So I'll pop a link here to a tutorial that I've done in the past to teach you guys how to block them out, just to make them extra safe when you apply latex over the top of them. Then I can take some liquid latex and a sponge, and I'm going to go over my eyebrows and my forehead, just this general area, about 3 to 4 times, letting it dry in between, just enough layers to build up a good base, because then I'll start building up with some tissue. Then, when you've built up enough layers, you can take some regular tissue paper, which I've torn into so I've got the thinner halves, and working with tiny little strips, nothing too big, so probably about that. You literally take the liquid latex, apply it in the area you want to apply it, push the tissue down, and then saturate it. The shape I'm going to go for is a very V shape, so it's going to be more concentrated here, with about maybe 5 to 6 layers of tissue in the middle, letting it dry in between, then working out maybe 2 layers towards the edge, and then it's just going to be liquid latex, just as a smooth finish. But yeah, I want to concentrate all the tissue here so it gives this very V shape, and it can slightly overhook here, just giving them a very demonic, the eyes a very demonic stare type thing. So yeah, so just layer them up. If it helps, use your fingers to push the brows together to make it dry and set in that very angry, furrowed expression. So there we go, so I've got a nice angry looking brow. Yeah. So then I'm going to take the liquid latex and I'm just going to figure out where I'm going to put some extra wounds. I know I'm going to do a big head trauma, so, I mean, he's got to have died some way, isn't he? So I'm going to do some liquid latex in this area here, so when it dries I can pull open the area and expose, well, some fake flesh underneath. And I think I'll do another one, maybe somewhere around here. Over the top of that with probably about 3 to 4 layers of liquid latex, maybe 1 layer of tissue in between, doesn't matter overly much. It just needs to be thick enough so that when you pull it apart you can see there's a ridge. So then I can start opening the areas. So I'm going to take my spatula, nothing too sharp. I might use some scissors to make it a little bit bigger, but just be extra careful. Okay, so just pull the edges apart so they're not so neat. Just make as much exposed area up here as you can. Obviously try not to lift the edge of the latex so it definitely all stays stuck down, it doesn't flap around. If it does, it's not a huge problem because you can use Spirit Gum to stick it back down again. And do the same again on this piece. There we are, so try and cut off as much excess as you can because you don't want too much flapping about. Then I'm going to take some Graftobian FX gel, which is basically coloured gelatin. Doesn't matter too much that it's coloured, it's just a handy thing to, you pop it in boiling water and then you can manipulate it afterwards. So obviously make sure it's not too hot. I'm just going to apply it in both areas of the wounds just to make it a bit raised and textured. So this stuff is awesome. When it dries solid, so you can even paint over it. But yeah, it just adds a bit more texture and lumpy gooiness to it. Then I'm going to take some Snazaroo Clown White, which seems quite appropriate, and I'm going to use that all over my face, my neck and my ears, and then I'll work on afterwards mucking it up with different colours. I just want a nice base to work with. And obviously make sure to paint around the wounds. Then I can take some setting powder by Ben Nye. This is in their Super White, which is an awesome product again. I'm going to use that to press all over my face, obviously excluding the 2 wound areas, just to make this less shiny and a bit more even. So then before I do Ronald McDonald's like famous features, like the end of the red nose, the lines down his eyes and the mouth, etc., I'm going to zombie this look up a little bit because it needs to look a bit more gruesome and a bit less symmetrical, because I don't want the details to be really perfect. I want them to be really messy, and yeah, I think it'll be easier to do that after I've zombified this up, if that's the right terminology. So I'm going to take some Grimas black cream, and I'm just going to take a medium fluffy brush and I'm going to smoke up my eyes, doing a little bit of emphasis on the shape that I've got here, the new brow shape, so it's going to be higher here, lower here. Yeah, don't make it too neat, just make it like sunken in and deep set and smoky. Then I can take a new brush with a tiny bit of foundation on it, just to start helping me manipulate this colour and blend it out as far as I can get it really. So there we go. I don't want it to be too dark because the lighter it is, then when I can be able to draw on the lines underneath his eyes and they'll stand out more. Then I'm going to take the black cream again and I'm going to take a really, really fine but stiff brush for the detailing, and I'm going to start drawing on some wrinkles and just trying to make the face look a bit more gruesome. So rather than talk you through it, I'm just going to time lapse it and show you where I draw the wrinkles and detailing on, and I'll blend it afterwards. So there we are, so loads of rough sketching basically, because just like my temples and just some more bags under my eyes, nasal labial folds, down the side of my mouth and some cheekbones, yeah. So then I'm just going to take my brush again that has a tiny bit of foundation on it, and I can start blending this colour in. So remember, you need to blend away from the face. So the areas that have a blunt edge on them are the fattier areas, so up here needs no extra colour, and down here needs no extra colour. It's all the inside to make them look puffy, if that makes sense. I'll show you as I'm blending it. There we go. I know it's looking very theatrical, but trust me, there's a reason. When I've applied the big mouth and the nose and the eye makeup, and the eyebrows, the clown makeup, and I've covered more fake blood on this area and this area, it's going to cover a lot of it up. And seeing as I don't know at this stage what exactly is going to be covered up, it's better to just do the whole face and then work backwards, really. And I'm just going to take the black cream and do some brow furrows. Draw a few little extra wrinkles going down the nose as well, just to make it look like more like he's snarling. Now the fun part, I can start making this look like Ronald McDonald. So I'm going to take some Snazaroo black watercolour and I'm going to start drawing on the eyebrows. Now they're very high and very rounded, so one of them is going to get hidden a little bit by this icky blood spot. So yeah, so I'm just going to draw half of it. There we go, so try not to spend too long on making it look as neat as you can, because remember, I'm going to be covering this in blood and it's going to mess up some of the details, so don't worry about that. Then I can take the same black watercolour again and I can do one line underneath both eyes, and then I'm going to draw the two spikes that he has going down. Sorry, I changed my mind halfway through doing that. I thought it'd look more cool if they looked like tears. So what I've done is, I've had them going slightly oval shaped, so as if the tears are rolling down the chin, rolling down the face rather. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take some of the watercolour again, the black watercolour, with lots and lots and lots of water, and I'm just going to drip it once up there and then let it trickle down, just to make it a little bit more messy. And I think the idea of a really, really happy, smiling, crying clown is kind of weird and eerie and might suit this look. Finish trickling down, it looks like that. Yeah, looks quite sad. So then I'm going to take some Snazaroo red watercolour and I'm going to draw on the nose and the mouth that he has, the really iconic shapes. So they're very specific shapes. It's the very tip of the nose and it's a very big grin that it's basically, I mean, the two really big Cupid's bows leading down the chin, but rather than me talking through it, I'll just show you me doing it. Again, don't worry about making it too neat on the mouth because there's going to be a lot of blood there. But that leads me on to my next point, the blood. So the first thing I'm going to use is some Graftobian Magic Blood Powder. And now this stuff you've got to be really careful with. It's an amazing product. You apply it as a powder really loosely in the area that you want. So for me, I'm going to apply it all around this area, and the mouth. And then you spray it with water. So once you spray it, activate it, and it goes mad. So just be really, really delicate with this. Don't use too much. And I kind of sprayed a little bit there already, sorry, but then you spray it from distance once or twice and then let it work its magic. I feel so delicious right now. But yeah, so this stuff will eventually dry and set. Yeah, I'm then going to take my trusty black hairspray, as I always do, and I'm just going to darken this up a little bit. Make sure to breathe in heavily before you spray, otherwise you'll inhale it and you'll have black snot for ages, and that's just not nice, is it? So I'm just going to spray around the edges just to darken it up a bit, make it look a bit more weathered. And then it's just a case of popping on my costume, my wig and my contacts. And there we go. So I finished the look off by popping on 2 different contact lenses. This one is a red Cyclops lens by eyesbright.com. I'll pop the link in the description bar below. And this one is an infected lens, I believe it's called. Either way, it's from camoeyes.com. I'll pop the link in the description bar below. The costume I got from Amazon, and the wig itself, this was, I think it was like a medium length blonde wig that I cut up like crazy and spray painted it red with bits of black in, just to make it look more creepy than just a red afro wig. Yeah, I don't know. And I also added some extra fake blood to my neck, just so it looks a bit more messy, like he's been freshly eating a person. I don't know. And if you want, you can finish the look off with some crazy teeth. So as always, I'm going to use my Wes Craven teeth that I got from Charles Fox in London. And they kind of do add a little something to the look. Unfortunately, I can't talk very well with them in though. So yeah, that's what it look like in. But it does give me quite a lisp, so yeah. So yeah, that's my zombie Ronald McDonald look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you like it, please make sure to, you know, the usual, rate, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye. If this doesn't make you want to buy a Happy Meal, I just don't know what will.